immensely packed arena with heartwarming, cheering fans and amazing Laura holding up to all that expectations.
För 9 år sedan levde den finländska konståkningen sina hittills största ögonblick med guld, brons och en 5:e plats i EM på hemmais inför en totalt hänförd publik. För den regerande Europamästaren italienska Carolina Kostner var silvermedaljen säkert en missräkning. Men då som alltid visade hon exempel på de personliga egenskaperna som gör henne till en åkare som hela världen älskar.
It's a very, very special memory, and sometimes I still hear or skate with Laura and Kira, and it's a big pleasure, and we have so many memories that we can share together.
Carolina Kostner, som efter en paus på 2 år återvände till konståkningen inför förra säsongen, har sedan hösten 2016 tränat långa tider i Sankt Petersburg under Alexei Mishins vakande öga.
I've always been a skater that has traveled a lot for skating, because in Italy, unfortunately, back in the days when I started, but also now we still struggle with the conditions we get for training, and I think it's going to be my generation that will bring the knowledge and the experience to Italy that will improve that situation. As for me, I've always been on the road, and being able to train in St. Petersburg and to train at Alexei, it is a magnificent experience. I've gone through a lot of different situations, fabulous ones, fabulous experiences, more difficult ones, painful ones, and still I feel that I have room for improvement, and the will and the desire to learn. And for this, St. Petersburg is offering a great opportunity, and I'm so thankful and so honored to be able to train there and to skate there.
You will be 31, which is considered pretty much for a skater, and you are skating against skaters. Many are teenagers.
Yes.
How do you keep up?
It is that in every age you encounter difficulties, and they're different, but still you fight against yourself when you're out there, your thoughts and your abilities. And our sport is very difficult in many ways, not just because we skate. We slide on a very slippery surface on about 4 millimeters of a blade. We take off and we jump and we turn 3 times in the air in less than 0.5 seconds. And then we land and we just continue sliding as if nothing has happened. And it's a difficult sport. And when you have to perform in front of the audience and you have to be ready in that certain moment, it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of hours of training, as in all the other sports as well, but I can only talk from my side. If I look at from an artistic point of view, because I consider this sport not only from the point of view of an athlete, but also as an artist. If you go deeper into the art, most of the great, let's say, paintings or writings or poems have been written by artists that were very mature and in an older age. That means that you can always find something to improve and always find something to learn. If not in sports, then in life. and I see it this way. I see it as an opportunity to grow, and I feel extremely lucky to be healthy enough and to be supported enough also from my family and from my federation to be able to still do it and do it with love and with all I have. This season especially, I want it to be about the joy and the honor and the privilege I feel to have been able to transform a little passion that I had as a kid into a real work, into a real masterpiece. For my long program, it's just a piece of music that I totally love and that I feel expresses exactly how my skating feels when I skate. And I would just want to share with the people how much I like it, how it makes me feel, and to maybe try and tell and try to make them understand better this love that I have and that has been directing my life for so long, and I'm sure it will be in my heart forever. It has always been a wish of mine to skate to music that expresses my feelings and that expresses who I am at the moment. And my choreographer, Lori Nicol, she has the great ability to dive into your emotions and into your being in this moment, to advise and help you to find your own way of telling a story without words. My short program is to a French love song, French song full of emotion and pain, and for me it is about feminism and about being a woman with 2 feet in your life and having struggled, having felt pain and having felt disappointment and anger, but also never giving up. You fall down, you stand up, and you fall down again, and you stand up again. And it's not so much about how many times you fall or how many times you stumble. It's much more about how many times you get back up. And you put one step in front of the other each day, and you look forward, learning from the past, but not letting the past define who you are. And that's how I feel about my life, and I would like to share that with the people.
Ja, det ska bli intressant att se om någon kan slå det här, för när det gäller speciellt då programkomponenterna, så det här mogna tolkningen, de djupa skären. Ja, alltså Carolina Kostner har precis allt, och idag lyckades hon perfekt också i elementen.
The Olympics in 2018 will be your 4th Olympics. How big is that for you?
The thought of it is fantastic, and to be able to represent your own country with pride and with honor is, for an athlete, it's what you dream of. And every season, every competition, and every Olympic Games has its own story. And the 4th one is coming, but it's still to write. And I will prepare as well as I can. I will put my heart and soul into it, but I cannot preview how it's going to be. What I know is that I will fight to be able to find the best version of myself. And that should be the goal, to not think about the result and to not think about one jump more or one jump less, but to, as a whole, to see from where I've started, to never forget from where I've started, in a small town in Italy, and where you can go, where it can take you if you don't stop believing and fight for your dreams and fight for what you love.
So your first Olympics, they were in Turin in 2006. What are your memories of those competitions?
I have beautiful memories about Torino, and still people, especially in that area, they remember it with a big smile. It was like a huge festival in the whole city, in the whole area of northern Italy. And so many, an explosion of emotions that I felt in that young age, maybe not being totally aware of what everybody wants from me, from going to be a small town club skater to carrying the Italian flag in front of the whole Italian team in your home country's Olympics. It's been challenging to deal with it, and I placed in the top 10 at my first Olympic Games, and it was just fantastic. Of course, if I think of my skating itself, I was scared, out of my mind, scared to take that ice in that evening. But now if I look back, it all helped me to become the person I'm today. And I hope that with the experience I do, I can help young skaters to find their own path, and if they have questions or so, I am totally open to share my knowledge and to share my experience with them, and to maybe be a point of hope and a point of example that if you put in effort and if you're patient, you can actually go really, really, really far, and sometimes it even surprises yourself. A very special moment was the moment I finished my free skating at the Olympic Games in Sochi, skating to Bolero, which is a program that the first time my choreographer told me about the music, about her idea, I said, no, that's not me. And yet I grew into it, and it was just perfect for that moment. And I remember standing in that ending position and seeing the whole team seat part of of the audience jumping on their feet and cheering with me. It was a huge emotion to see the appreciation from those who know how much work there is behind and how difficult it is. And to be able to live those moments and to share them with the people, it's very special. And I know it's once in a lifetime moments, but you never forget them.